Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Unitarian Church of Evanston. My name is Ann McAllister, and I'll be the worship associate for this morning. Whether this is your spiritual home or you are newly discovering this community, we're grateful to share this time together. We strive to be an inclusive and welcoming community, seeking truth in love and nurturing the human spirit for a world made whole. We are guided by our principles and values, which remind us in every moment and through every challenge that each of us is worthy of love and that we are all connected through the vast and beautiful web of existence. We come together to remember our kinship with one another and to hold one another in heart and mind with tenderness and careful attention, and to dedicate ourselves more fully to living our shared values. People of all ages are welcome and an important part of our faith community. We are blessed to have the children in the sanctuary for the first half of every service, and the entire service is for all ages about once a month. The nest in the front is our designated area for families with young children, where we have quiet fidget toys and activities and a kid-friendly order of service. Nursery care is available in room 11 every Sunday. As part of being a welcoming and inclusive community, we have some information posted on screen that will help orient you to UCE and our service. A few announcements, but not as many as last week. Please note that there's a new email address for newsletter submissions. It's easy to remember, newsletter@ucevanston.org. In preparations for the Serendipity auction on November 18th, we will do a quick Wi-Fi test after today's service, and we need your help. We promise it won't take long. Right? Okay. I can't guarantee anything. The Congregational Connections team announces that sign-ups for friendship meals begins today at the back of the sanctuary after the service. You may also use the link provided in this week's newsletter article about friendship meals. There are 6 great options available. Not to worry if the available options don't work for you or the date you want is already full. The Congregational Connections team will be offering meals again in the winter and keeping a waiting list of folks who weren't able to sign up for the fall. Remember, next Sunday is the Cabaret concert in support of the Music Fund. Come to enjoy wonderful music by our 3 choir section leaders, Jen Weisgarver, Kylie Corey, and Chester Beck, along with Gregory Schiffen on piano. Love you, Gregory. The cabaret will begin shortly after kinship time following the 10:30 a.m. service. One moment. Please plan to join the Evanston Pro-Choice Rally and March on Sunday, October 15th at noon at Raymond Park to support women who need our help. Wear hot pink and comfy shoes, bring signs, loud voices, and please spread the word. During kinship time, information about the event will be available at the back tables with an opportunity to offer volunteer and financial assistance. On Sunday, October 29th, we are hosting a collection of neo-pagan groups in a Samhain ritual known as the Spiral Dance. The ritual honors the memory of our ancestors. If you are interested in volunteering the day of the ritual or would like to join the organizing team, please contact Taryn Nelson Seawright or Reverend Susan. Our yoga group continues to meet virtually every Wednesday from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. To learn more about joining this group, please see Doug Erickson at one of the program tables after the service. And now, let us settle into our shared time of reflection, celebration, and inspiration. As we begin our worship service, those joining us online are invited to gather your chalice as we join in beloved community. Welcome to worship. The Unitarian Church of Evanston resides on land that was recorded as being transferred from the local Potawatomi community to the U.S. government in 1829. Shortly before the Potawatomi in this area were forcefully removed west of the Mississippi River. This land was then sold to white settlers. We remember the ancestors of contemporary African Americans, the individuals, families, and networks of Black people who built up our country's culture and economy, a role forced on them originally by enslavement. We acknowledge the intentional violence that landed on North American shores in 1619 has continued throughout the generations and remains a reality today. These acknowledgments are one small effort toward building long-term solidarity with contemporary communities. We commit ourselves to take what we learn here today and incorporate it into our lives and turn our thoughts into actions. Please join in our words of shared commitment. We name these realities with honor for all the ancestors, respect our descendants, and gratitude for the land we use as sacred space. Doug Erickson brought the flowers in recognition of our yoga group. I invite Doug up now to lead us through the chalice lighting. The words are on the screen.
Hi, my name's Doug Erickson, and we do yoga, Jessica and I, on Wednesday mornings. And so we brought the flowers, bringing attention to our bodies. We pause. You're allowed to read, I guess. Pause. Okay, now pause. 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 Take it easy. Okay, let's just do this again. Bringing attention to our bodies. Lengthening and deepening our breath. Letting go of the clutter in our mind, bringing focus to the moment. We pause. Developing thoughtfulness and mindfulness. We pause. May our chalice flame guide our way on. Namaste. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug, and the other yoga people. Please rise in body or spirit and join in saying the words of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great part. To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Before we sing our opening hymn, I invite those joining us online to greet each other in the chat, and those gathered here in the sanctuary to turn to one another briefly, to say good morning, and remember to greet someone who is new to you.
After the service to continue your conversations. And if you're new to UCE, we invite you to stop by the welcome table at the back. There's a red tablecloth there to learn more about our community. Let's keep creating new relationships and building kinship among us. We can, right, some of you stayed arisen. If you want to get back up, we're going to sing Morning Has Broken. And the Waylon Mahalias will lead us. Welcome, and so glad to have you with us this morning. Some of you will remember Reverend Elizabeth Harding serving as our, yes, so nice, serving as our pastoral care coverage while I was on sabbatical last winter and spring. The pastoral care, I appreciated her help so much, and the pastoral care team was so deeply appreciative of her presence with them and the loving and dedicated way that she served this congregation in that role. I'm so pleased to be able to welcome her back into this community today as our affiliated community minister. Yes, we can clap lots. This is really a joyous thing. We've had community ministers before. Most recently, Reverend Jerry Stone served us very well and with great wisdom. He retired a few years ago. Community ministry is a way of bringing Unitarian Universalist ministry to the world beyond our walls in a number of ways, through chaplaincy, through hospice care, or working in nonprofit organizations, for example.
Being affiliated with this congregation simply means that Reverend Elizabeth is connected to us. And it helps to ground her ministry and to remain in good standing and in relationship with our larger Unitarian Universalist Association. Through her connection with UCE, Reverend Elizabeth will maintain her connection with the UUA, and we get the benefit of her ministerial gifts. She will be volunteering in the Faith Formation program with our children once a month. Yes. And anyone else want to volunteer, see Kathy. And she will also provide Reverend Elizabeth Will some extra support and consultation for the pastoral care team. It is with great joy that we re-welcome Reverend Elizabeth and her family and commission her into this role. Welcome.
Our congregational family is growing and constantly changing. People come and go. Babies are born. Children grow up. People commit themselves to one another. Loved ones and friends among us come to the end of their lives. Individuals move into our community. Others leave us, moving away to new places, new experiences, and new opportunities. It is important and right that we recognize these times of passage, of endings and beginnings. Today, we welcome Reverend Elizabeth A. Harding to be our affiliated community minister with our congregation.
I thank the Unitarian Church of Evanston for welcoming me to this community once again. I look forward to experiencing the care and connection and kindness I experienced as one of your sabbatical ministers recently. I looked forward to being engaged with your faith formation programming and your pastoral care needs. I anticipate that I will make mistakes and that you will provide kindness and education to me as a result. I am grateful for the learning moments that will be possible. I want to especially introduce my family, my husband, Kevin O'Reilly, who seems to have left for a moment with our son, Simon O'Reilly, and my other son, Lucas O'Reilly. Lucas, would you stand up and look at everybody? Turn around. I'm sure you will see them in religious education classes now and then on Sundays.
As we live into our mission and shared values, Elizabeth, I look forward to our collegial conversations and support of one another in our shared ministry of UCE. And to welcome you, I have a few things. A name tag that says Reverend Elizabeth Harding, Affiliated Community Minister. 2 is a little pin created by our auction team. It says, love is our doctrine and service is our prayer. I have one that says, Giving Life the Shape of Justice, and there's another one that has a little UCE heart. You too can have one of these pins if you buy them from the auction team as one of our fundraisers, so thank you for that. So you got that, and keys to the building.
I look forward to celebrating with you, holding sorrows with you, and taking part in meaning making with the congregation. I appreciate that we have a shared covenant of ministry together, and I have already made my donation to our auction.
So now I ask all of you who are here today, online and in person, do you offer your encouragement for Reverend Elizabeth's ministry with the religious education and pastoral care offerings, knowing that our congregation's ministry needs may evolve over time? If so, say we do.
Do you, all the members, friends, visitors, and staff of the Unitarian Church of Evanston welcome Reverend Elizabeth as our affiliated community minister? And if you do, say we do, and then read the statement on the screen, please. We welcome you in No, not on there? Oh, okay, sorry. We'll do it. We welcome you in gratitude for your offered ministry. We offer kindness and care as you learn about us, and we get to know you and look forward to growing in shared ministry. Welcome. This is the time of our service when we settle into quiet reflection as we share our joys and sorrows. If you have a joy or a sorrow that you would like shared with this community on a Sunday morning, you can write it in our book that lives at the back right as you enter the sanctuary. You can send me an email or fill out the online form on our homepage. We listen to these offerings with tenderness and respect, so let us quiet our bodies and voices once again during this sacred time by breathing in together and breathing out slowly. These are the joys and sorrows that have been shared for today. From Gretchen Brewster, a great joy. 10 years in the making, ETHS defeats New Trier in football. 26-22, a great day to be a Wildcat. Congrats. Exciting. Janelle Britton celebrates the remarkable life lived by John, her brother, who celebrates his 80th birthday. After 36 years, he is one of the longest surviving people with AIDS. Even though he has knocked at death's door 5 times, he comes back with a positive attitude. When you ask him, "How are you?" he always says, "I'm fabulous." And indeed, he is fabulous in so many ways. Happy birthday. From Cheryl Mounts, when I hear people discussing participation in beloved conversations, I want to say register today. Don't wait. This is our shared curriculum that many of us have partaken in, exploring multicultural conversations. My experience brought me understanding, says Cheryl, joy, and a number of friends I will always cherish. The pods I participated in still gather virtually to catch up. One such friend, Janet Burns, just passed. She was a mother, sister, and friend to many. The Tree of Life Church and the UU community has lost an advocate and a woman with great spirit. And a bittersweet joy from Ben Kornfeld and Bridget Wild. Today, I think this was Friday or Saturday, they buried Ben's grandma, Clara Kornfeld, who lived her 102 years fully and was loved tremendously. 4 generations gathered to share memories and honor her legacy. Sharing these concerns of the heart is part of the practice of building beloved community. Together we share we expand our celebrations and we lessen the burden of our grief. And so you are invited to come forward and light a candle for the joys and the sorrows that are on your heart that you would like to acknowledge and share with this community. You'll notice that there's a little bit of a different candle situation. I was noticing that they were becoming quite difficult to light and creating waste. So I have very small, they're actually birthday candles, and you'll light them from either the chalice or the two sides or the little tea candle and just place them right into the sand, and they will stand up. So you're invited to come forward, and if you need someone to bring a candle to you, please raise your hand and we will do so. Please join in saying these words. For these joys we give our thanks, for these sorrows we give our love. And I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation. I offer this prayer of St. Francis of Assisi, 13th century Italian mystic and Catholic friar who is thought of as the patron saint of animals and the environment. Spirit of life, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is sadness, joy. Where there is darkness, light. O Divine One, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, not so much to be understood as to understand, not so much to be loved as to love, for it is in the giving that we receive, it is in the pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in releasing our attachment to life that we are free to truly live. Amen. Blessed be.
As we say in our covenant, each Sunday service is our law. UCE is called by our mission, values, and principles to contribute to our community, to form accountable partnerships, and to express gratitude through giving. This Sunday is the first of 4 in which we will share our offerings with the Evanston North Shore branch of the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. With us today is Jerry Sizemore, who will share a few words about the NAACP and will also be available during kinship time to tell you more about it and help you sign up for a membership. We will continue to have information about the branch and opportunities to support the NAACP throughout the month. Jerry is the second vice president of the Evanston branch and a lifelong member of the NAACP. Please welcome Jerry Sizemore.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me here, and especially to share this sacred space. Okay, I am a member of Ebenezer AME Church, 1109 Emerson, where the Reverend Deborah Scott is the pastor. I have just a couple of minutes to talk about an organization that's very near and dear to me. The NAACP embraced me more than 50 years ago. I was the first black checker to work in a grocery store on the North Shore. And I will always embrace the NAACP. And I'm going to get down to membership. I am also membership chair. Okay. Membership has its privileges. When you join the NAACP, you are a member of the oldest, the boldest civil rights organization in the world. And we need you to join the. We need you to become a member. Also, when the lobbyists in Washington go on Capitol Hill to ask our elected officials to sponsor a bill, support a bill, and if they can say the NAACP, we have 100,000 members. Politicians equate that to votes. Okay, so we do need your support. We need you to become a member because the struggle continues. So thank you.
You may text to give, mail in a check, or give from our website. If you write a check, please indicate in the memo line if your check is for the shared offering or for some other giving. The ushers will now come forward to pass the collection bowls down the rows. Please give as generously as you are able, and may what you give bring you joy.
Restless weaver, ever spinning threads of justice and shalom, dreaming patterns of creation where all creatures find a home, gathering up life's varied fibers, every texture, every hue. Grant us your creative vision, with us weave your world anew. Where earth's fragile, web is rattling, help us mend each broken strand. Bless our urgent, bold endeavors, cleansing water, air, and land. Through the Spirit's inspiration, offering health where once was pain. Strengthen us to be the stewards of your world knit whole again. Restless weaver, still conceiving new life now and yet to be, finding all your vast creation in one living tapestry. You have called us to be weavers. Let your love guide all we do. With your reign of peace, our pattern, we will weave your world anew.
Well, this morning's Time for All Ages is called The Noble Ibex, a Jataka tale. Ready? Once upon a time, the Buddha was born in the form of a magnificent ibex. The forest in which he lived was far from civilization and therefore quiet and peaceful. Many animals lived there, and its lakes were pristine. Flowers bloomed along the banks, and trees kept the forest cool and mild. The noble ibex, the former Buddha, was beautiful, sleek, and swift. He had the body of an animal, but the intelligence and empathy of a human being. So deep was his compassion for all living creatures that he stepped carefully so as not to crush anything. Because of its great beauty and many animals, the forest was a desired place to hunt. One day, a king and his royal party camped on the edge of the forest with hopes of catching game. The king set out on his horseback with a small group of people, and he soon caught a glimpse of this splendid ibex. He snapped the reins and crossed the horses' necks and dashed away, leaving his group behind. The ibex heard the pounding of the horses' hooves and saw the king with his bow drawn taut. And although the ibex could have fought the king's attack, he chose to avoid violence, even in self-defense. So the ibex spun around and took off for the safety of the forest and leapt over a deep chasm. The king followed, but his horse refused to jump over the chasm and stopped abruptly, which of course threw the king over the horse and down into the chasm. The ibex didn't hear the hooves anymore, so he looked behind him to see the king's horse alone at the edge of the chasm and knew that the king must have fallen. A sudden feeling of compassion overcame him, for he knew an injured person would not survive alone in the forest. The ibex walked back to the chasm and saw the king below, moaning in pain. He no longer looked upon the king as his enemy, but felt his suffering. "I hope your majesty has no serious wounds." The king looked up in astonishment. "You see, I am no devil to be hunted for sport," said the ibex. "I am just a peaceful creature living in this beautiful forest." "Oh, it is I that acted as a beast, not you. Can you ever forgive me?" cried the king. "Sire, let me help you. I can rescue you if you trust me." He searched for a large boulder as heavy as a man or person and practiced lifting it. And when he could do so safely without slipping, he carefully went down the side of the chasm to the king. "If you mount me as if you would your horse, I can carry you out." So the king did as he was told, and the ibex leapt out onto the rim of the cliff. The king was overtaken by the goodness of the ibex and couldn't leave. "How can I ever repay you? If you come with me to my palace, I can see to your every need, and you wouldn't need to worry about hunters again." "Sire, do you think I would be happy away from the forest? I don't think so. I would prefer to live here in peace. But there is one favor I ask of you." "Anything," said the king. "I ask that you give up hunting for sport. You now realize that all creatures want happiness and security. Can it be right to do them what you yourself would despise? A true king will gain his people's love by showing great goodness, not by showing power over others." The grateful king agreed to this request and returned to his palace while the ibex disappeared into the shelter of the forest. The king lived by the wise words of the noble ibex, the former Buddha. He forbade hunting for sport throughout his kingdom and protected his people without waging wars against nearby countries. And thus, his kingdom flourished, and the king was greatly respected as the gentlest and wisest of kings. The end.
Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me dio el corazón que agita su marco. Cuando miro el fruto del cerebro humano, cuando miro el bueno tan lejos del malo, cuando miro el fondo de tus ojos claros. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado el sonido y el abecedario, con él las palabras que pienso y declaro. Madre, amigo, hermano, y luz alumbrando la ruta del alma del que estoy amando. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado la risa y me ha dado el llanto. Ha sido distinto, dicha de quebrando los dos materiales que forman mi canto y el canto de ustedes que es el mismo canto y el canto de todo que es mi propio canto. Gracias a la vida, gracias a la vida, gracias a la vida, gracias a la vida.
Thank you so much for your offering your gifts today. And thanks to all the dogs who are like super well behaved. I say, good job, dogs. 5 years ago at our animal blessing service, I talked about the UU Animal Ministry promoting a change to the first principle of our UUA bylaws. The proposal at the time was for the first principle to read, "We affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every being rather than every person," as it reads now. As it turns out, that change did not move forward at that time because, as we now know, We're undergoing a process of reviewing all of the principles, and we have a new set of proposed value statements, all centered around the core value of love. Those proposed values emanating from love are pluralism, generosity, equity, justice, transformation, and interdependence. The language of care and respect for all beings, though, has been incorporated with both the value statement of pluralism, which states we celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology, and the interdependence value, which reads, we honor the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. Hello, welcome, Michael. With humility and reverence, we covenant to protect Earth and all beings from exploitation, creating and nurturing sustainable relationships of repair, mutuality, and justice. We uphold the inherent worth and dignity of all beings because we know we are all interconnected. We need one another, and we are responsible to and for one another, including the animals. This is our high aspiration, which we work towards together. As we talked about last week, we human beings are capable of tremendous friendliness, love, and cooperation. We are capable of taking good care of each other and the world, but we're also capable of great cruelty, indifference, and harm. One of the ways that we harm other humans is by dehumanizing them, in other words, thinking of them as animals. As Unitarian Universalists, though, we know we are called not to just treat each other humans, with love and respect, but all life on this planet. That interconnection, love, and care of beloved community includes all beings. Whether you brought your pet here today or you're like me and have pets at home that you can't bring because they are less than well behaved with others, or whether you don't have pets because you can't or you choose not to, we are all in relationship with the animals we inhabit our world with. We rely on animals for food, clothing, and medicine. We owe gratitude to the animals who pollinate our flowers and trees, clean our oceans and seas, serve us in a myriad of ways, helping us to navigate the world, alerting us when we're sick, sniffing out trouble, comforting, cheering, and entertaining us. Animals are a source of beauty and wonder all around us, and we can so easily take them for granted or neglect the responsibility we have to them. Our relationships with animals can be complicated with feelings of adoration and admiration for some and fear and disgust for others. We love our cats and dogs, but some of us are less enamored with spiders, snakes, and rats. But all creatures have worth and are part of the kingdom of earth. We must practice holding all of life in care. Whether we like, love, or fear them, the animals are our relations, and we owe them not just our thanks, but our protection from harm. This is a tall order. In a world where it's hard enough to take care of ourselves and our human siblings, it's easy to put our obligation to the rest of the living world out of our minds, and we do need to put on our own oxygen mask first. But let's remember that we are all interdependent. Truly caring for ourselves includes caring for the earth and all her beings. The blessings we offer today to our animal friends are only symbolic. They hold no special powers to fix what is broken. Our blessings must be coupled with our commitment to, as our proposed value statement says, protect Earth and all beings from exploitation, creating and nurturing sustainable relationships. To the animals here and those who are at home, to those who live in the corners and crevices, in the skies and seas, in our homes and under the ground, we offer our commitment to care for you and the world we inhabit together, with the humility and reverence to work toward relationships of appreciation and respect. Adam, did we get this language into the Yes, we did. Okay, so I invite you to say these words as an affirmation of our shared value. This is our interdependence value. We honor the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. With humility and reverence, we covenant to protect Earth and all beings from exploitation, creating and nurturing sustainable relationships of repair, mutuality, and justice. And now I invite those of you who have brought your pets here today to come forward so that they may receive a blessing. Reverend Elizabeth and Kathy will be at this station over here, and I and Ann will be at this station over here, and we have, we'll offer a water blessing from our water communion, and we have tasty treats for dogs and cats. There are tasty treats also offered by the Fair Trade Card, just saying, a little plug there. And then please enjoy the photos of some of the pets who are at home receiving our blessing virtually. Please come forward. Come forward now, and if you do need us to come to you, we can do that after the line gets through. So raise your hand. May all beings be well. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings live with peace and ease. You want to do the chalice extinguishing? Did we get everybody? Did we get through the whole? We didn't? Oh boy. Almost. How many more? One more. Okay, good. Weenie. Yay.
Okay. As we extinguish the chalice, please join in saying the words on the screen by the Reverend Elizabeth Sell Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our closing hymn, We Celebrate the Web of Life.
Folks that in the sanctuary that we're going to do a quick Wi-Fi test, so if you can remain seated after the benediction, we'll bid our friends online adieu, and if we do this, it'll really help out the auction team. Our benediction: may we learn to be loving and faithful companions to all beings upon the earth, and may we cherish all life and protect our home so that all may flourish and thrive. Amen. You can be seated for a second, and we'll wish those of you online a great week. Be well, and Adam, let me know when the live stream has ended. And you can pull out your phones. And you'll be able to go on to just take any website that you can